So we're well into the late season here. We're at the end of December. It's actually New Year's Eve when I'm recording this. And the part of Wisconsin that I'm in, we have an extended archery season because of the late doe season that we had for rifle. And that fell over Christmas and New Year's holiday here. Yes, I should be wearing orange, but for whatever reason, I'm not actively hunting, so I can get away with it. There's no neighbors around. There are none. I know that for sure. But the point of this video is it's late season. Most of the leaves and everything are off. And the one thing I've learned late season hunting, and I absolutely love late season bow hunting, especially I've taken two of my biggest bucks late in the season, one late November, the other one I've killed a couple bucks actually in late season, a couple really good bucks. One in particular, 2012. Yeah, I was sitting in a lot of conifers, so, you know, I was able to get away with a lot more just from the cover that the conifers, the white pine in particular, the cover that provided. But on a lot of the properties I hunt, defoliation, especially this time of year, these deer are coming off a long season. They're coming off our rifle seasons, especially a late doe season like this. These deer are on peak alert at all times. You watch them come into a food source this time of year, even if you're not actively hunting, watching from a distance and nobody's hunting that distant food, you know, that food source and you're glassing it from the distance, those deer are on edge. Any little swirl of a wind, anything, their heads are up, they're going. You know, they're at their highest alert this time of year. You're not going to get away with a lot of movement unless you have a lot of trunk around you. They're sitting in, you know, good red oak trees like we've got here that got a lot of cover on. But even that, you still can't get away with a lot. I find that I can get away with a lot more sitting in a soft-sided ground blind like this. It could be a hard-sided blind like a redneck or a Banks as well, be it on the ground, elevated a little bit, even a soft-sided blind like this, elevated 5-10 feet, doesn't matter. You can still get away with a lot more movement. The other thing, take a windy day like today, temperature's starting to drop here, we got a northwest wind. If I were actively hunting today, it keeps the wind off of you. Keeps you a little warmer that way. It does hold the heat a little bit. The main thing, keeping that wind off of you. So I shouldn't say that it holds heat at all, but it keeps the wind off of you. That's the main thing. That's one thing about me. Any of you that have been following me for a long time, you know I love cold weather hunting. Years ago, I used to go out, you know, I think some of the coldest temperatures I've ever hunted personally was like 15 below air temperature, and, you know, we probably had 15, 20 mile an hour winds, so it was well below 30, you know, like minus 30 wind chills, even greater than that, and colder, I should say. So they keeps the wind off of you. So it does help to keep you warmer in that regard. I can get in there, I wear dark clothing, sit in the furthest back corner. Now, a blind like this, if I was actively hunting late season, doesn't matter, time of the year, whatever, I'd have that closed up a little bit more. I think that was opened up a little bit more by a friend of mine that hunts with me, just simply because he had his nephew with, and they were hunting this plot during rifle season. But, so if I was hunting this now, I'd actually have this closed up a little bit more. Everybody wants to sit in a ground blind with all the windows open. Guys, how much movement are you getting away with that? Not very much. Plus, most of my movement is out here in the food plot behind me. So, I want this. I'm not actually going to sit here, but I want a ground blind. It allows me to sneak out of here. The way this is set up, I've got an access road on our west line fence here that we come in and out of. Doors to the back side. Done some hinge cutting here in the past. Early season, over this clover out here, sets up really well because it doesn't look like it now because we've had some wet heavy snow, but the briars, blackberry vines and everything that are in here as well, you know, and then with the maples, the leaf vegetation on here, sets up a great screen. Plus it's at a little bit lower elevation. It's actually just over this So it creates a great natural screen already. Going out the back door, we've got the leaves and everything kicked away, blown away, however we got to do it, with a rake, whatever. A ground blind, you can get away with a lot more. It's going to contain your scent a little bit more. You can get away with a little bit more different winds for your scent and all that. Still taking wind into consideration. You cannot totally fool a deer's nose. You know, a lot of you know that I like to use ozonics, and hey, it does work, especially on those old alert does. You know, this is a great time of year to take those does too, you know. But if I had a buck in here, I'd be using the ozonics. I'd be in this blind for movement, you know, concealment a lot more, just the way I can get in and out of here. Guys, you can't beat a ground blind, be it a soft side or a hard sided blind, elevated or on the ground like this one is in the late season. Any of the products or tools you see me mentioning in these videos, you can always find links in the description below. And hey, if you haven't already, or you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment. Give this video a like and a share. It helps us to beat that algorithm. It gets our video out to more people. The more comments, the more likes, the more shares that we have on these videos. So I hope you found this video helpful. And guys, thanks for coming along. Keep living the dream. And if you're out hunting yet this year, good luck to you. Thanks for joining me.